morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's 97 degrees here in Austin, Texas. I wasn't sure whether I was going to present this video outside or inside, but I opted for inside for obvious reasons. It's very cool and very, very, very comfortable inside. I'm at the Oak Hill Station Post Office, and today is a very special day. Today is the birthday of the United States Post Office. That's right. In 1775, the U.S. Post Office was established by the Second Continental Congress, and the first Postmaster General was no other than Ben Franklin. I love the post office. I think anybody who knows me knows how much I love the post office. I'm fascinated by the post office. For 55 cents, for a mere 55 cents, they will pick a letter or a postcard up close to your residence, if not at your residence, if you put the little flag up, and they'll take it all the way across the country and do the same thing and drop it off almost on the doorstep, if not on the doorstep of the person that you're sending mail to, all for 55 cents. So I just have to scratch my head and ask, who in their right mind would complain about the United States Post Office? You've got to ask yourself, what are you complaining about? The largest post office is on 34th Street in New York City, and that is the hold on. I thought the largest post office is in New York City. It's 33,100 square feet, and it's James P. Farley, and James Farley. I know this will upset a lot of my viewers. Was a Democrat, high-ranking Democrat in Democratic politics. He was also the Postmaster General after FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So this gentleman was quite the politician, a Postmaster General, and as a result, that's why they named the post office in New York City the largest post office after this gentleman. The smallest post office is in Ochapee, Florida is the smallest post office, and it's 61.3 square feet. And I'll spell Ochapee for you, Ochopee, Florida, and that's the smallest post office in the United States. And if you want a really good book to read for the summer holiday, Neither Snow Nor Rain, A History of the United States Postal Service by Devin Leonard. Devin Leonard. I think my sister Susie gave me this book, or I think it could have been my sister Mary Ann. It could have been my sister Terry Ann, and it might have been my sister Bobby Ann. So it could have been Bobby Ann, Terry Ann, Suzanne, or Mary Ann. I'm not too sure. That's why I'm going to include all four of them, so as not to upset anyone involved in in that gift. But it was a great book if you really, really want to learn about the post office and its history, its beginnings, its struggles. And I talked to the clerk just before she closed, and she told me the reason why the post office doesn't have any money or is always in debt is because the United States government takes $1.5 billion or some crazy number every year from the post office to cover its pension liability 30 years from now. And she told me that's the only organization in the government that they do this to, is the post office. So I don't know why the post office has become the redheaded stepchild of the United States government or our friends in Washington, D.C., but that's exactly what it's become. Amtrak and the United States Post Office can't seem to get a break in funding. They will fund everything and anything, but they can't make too much money on the post office, and they can't make too much money on Amtrak, perhaps, and that's their logic. Washington only likes to make money, and they don't like to. You can't make money when you're giving a service to the people that live in your country, like the post office. Like I say, don't get me started on the post office. I am a big lover of the post office. I was stationed in Okinawa, Japan. I send postcards all the time. I love to send postcards. I've never had problems with the post office in my whole life. So happy birthday, 1775, to the United States Post Office. In 1956, the Italian passenger liner, the Andrea Dore, sank. She collided with another ship from Stockholm off the coast of Nantucket, off the coast of Massachusetts, and sank, and 51 people were killed or drowned. 1956, the Italian passenger liner Andrea Dore sank. And in 1990, George W. Bush, H.W. Bush, the first Bush, signed the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that was a great thing that was done. And what this did, this gave people with disabilities, whether it be physical or mental disabilities, the right to public accommodations, employment, transportation, state and local services, and telecommunications. So in 1990, that was signed, and what a great bill that was, and a great law that became a law because of that. And in 2016, Hillary Clinton, you might remember Hillary Clinton. She was the first woman to head a ticket in a major political party in the United States of America. And happy birthday to Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock is 57 years old today, and I believe she's a resident of Austin. If you remember her, she was in that movie with driving the bus around the airport. Maybe it was called Bus. I don't know, but she did a good job driving that bus. No one knew that she knew how to drive a bus. But how lucky is Sandra Bullock? Of all the actresses in the world and all the actresses in Hollywood, she got selected to be a movie star. Wow. So I believe she lives in Austin right now. And I hope you enjoyed the Botanical Garden yesterday. And I'm going to go back to the Botanical Garden for part 2. There's some areas that I wanted to show you that I missed. And there's some photographs of the Zeliks who donated that property for the garden, and some other interesting places in the garden that I didn't have time to show you yesterday. So I'm going to close this out. It's 10 minutes to 6. This is open 24 hours in most post offices, so people can come in and check their mail, even though the counter closes at 5 p.m. But I really am a big fan of the post office. I mean, I don't know how anybody in their right mind can have a grievance with a service that's so dependable, so affordable, and so professional than the United States Post Office. So in closing, 1775, the Post Office is established with the first Postmaster General, Benjamin Franklin. In 1956, it was a passenger liner named the Andrea Doria that hit another ship from Stockholm off the coast of Massachusetts and sank, and 51 people lost their lives. In 1990, the American with Disabilities Act was signed by first George Bush. And happy birthday to Sandra Bullock. I'm sorry here. Sandra Bullock. Bullock. You know who I'm talking about. And again, if you want to get a real good read for the summer, Neither Snow Nor Rain, History of the United States Postal Service by Devin Leonard. So I hope you enjoyed this celebration of the post office as much as I did, and keep mailing postcards. It's a lost art, but you can find them. There's nothing like, you don't even have to write anything on the back. The main thing is somebody's can touch something, can hold something, and they can see a picture. And you don't even have to go anywhere. I have postcards that I got from a second-hand store, 3 vintage postcards, and just valuable postcards from back in the day. And you don't even, you don't even have to go on holiday to send a postcard. You can send postcards all year long from your own residence. And the important thing is that somebody is receiving a picture, not an email. So send a postcard today.